You already know what time it is. It's that official time. Where we take this worldwide. Let's go. Listen. So now it's time to turn it up. Surf the radio waves as we begin to burn it up. We all up in your area like landscape, definitely bringing you the Powerslams Pancakes. It's a mandate that you tune in. It's time to move out so we can move in and recognize that this is no illusion. I'm here to clear the air so that there is no confusion. It all started off in the book of Genesis when Jacob was wrestling with who he thought was his nemesis. And when the man saw he couldn't overpower him, he touched his hip but he really couldn't devour him. And from that point then we hear a name change, rearrange the game, so now we gotta change lanes. So I'm here to let you know it's time to listen to the Pancake and Powerslams Show. Let's go! Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslams. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslams. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslams Show. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslams. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslams. Turn it up, it's the Pancake and Powerslams Show. Turn it up.
Yo, episode 546. We in the mix talking about Nikki A.S. to the H. Triple H got some news, got some exclusive info. Get your Kindle, get your book, get your paperback. Cause I got some exclusive knack. I got some news. I got some news for the fam, news for the ham, news for the yam, like candy yam. Dewdrop Nikki A.S.H. Will they be together or late? It's too late cause they made split up. Buttercup. Yo, got some news for the fam. Exclusive. Exclusive. Got some news. Got some information for the PNP family. Today is Tuesday in the East Coast and the USA, but the UK is 5 hours away, 6 hours away. We're talking about 5, 4, 3, 2 to the 1. I don't know what time it is in the UK, but it's okay. Think it's about 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock. It's okay. Got my socks on to the break of dawn. P&P in the early morn. Yo! Let's go. 546. We in the mix. P&P and the family. Let's go. Yeah. Episode 546, ladies and gentlemen, of the Pancakes and Powerslams Show. With your bro, with the Dr. C, don't you know? Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? I put an extra light on the my set today to display my titles. My titles. I think I'm gonna dim it a little bit. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna dim the light a little bit. I like the loungy aesthetic, and I'm gonna dim it just a little bit. I like to highlight my titles, but I'm gonna dim it just a little bit. So I'll be right back. Better. Yeah. Yes. Much better. I like it. I like it. Let's see what color we feeling tonight as far as the background ambiance. Let me see. Let me see. I can change the color on my phone. So let's see what type of feel what we looking for tonight, PNP Nation. What type of vibe we looking at tonight? Let's do. Let's see. Mm, I like it really chill. Yeah, oh yeah, like a blue, like a purplish blue. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Like it nice and relaxed. Yeah. Okay, like a bluish purple. Let's purple it up a little bit. There we go. That's good. That's good. All right. What's going on, PNP Nation? Got the questions flooding already, man. See, this is the reason why Pancakes and Power Slam is the funnest, most chill and loungy and family oriented, just communal podcast in the pro wrestling business today, if you will, baby. Ricky, what's up, my man? Ricky's back in the building. What's up? What's up, man? It's always good to have you, Ricky. I believe that was your second time interviewing McATA. Yes, it was. The first time was here on PNP in April, my 10-year anniversary show. Last week was the first time you interviewed Brian Kendrick. Yes, last week was the first time I interviewed Brian Kendrick. Brian Kendrick was a really, really nice guy, man. Emailed me afterwards, and in the morning, Wednesday morning, giving me his thank yous. So very, very nice. Very nice. Very sad news about the Queen. Lived to be 96 years old. That's a very enviable age to many, many people. So very, very impactful life. Oh, coughed a bit. There we go. There we go. Some in my throat. Yeah. Very impactful life. 96 years old, man. It's big. Yeah, I saw the logo tonight. I saw the logo. I didn't watch NXT, but someone sent me the logo. I said, okay, I like it. Much better, much better. Now, hopefully, the black and gold like storyline development and talent and all that, like, hopefully, it's not just like rainbow NXT with black and gold branding. So just NXT of the rainbow splash era just didn't interest me not one bit. So hopefully there's some differences there. But here's the thing though. I know that NXT is Triple H's baby. Like Triple H loves him some NXT. My issue with this though, I know that Shawn Michaels is taking a lot of the helm when it comes to NXT. but NXT is Triple H's baby, so I know that he wants to have some type of influence toward it. And I'm not a fan. Like you basically you got still some influence in NXT. Because NXT is your baby, and then you are now on the top of the executive chain when it comes to talent relate when it comes to creative, when it comes to the main roster too. So you've got your hand in influencing the booking when it comes to Raw and SmackDown and NXT. That is too much. That's too much. That's too much on one person who's almost died because of heart issues and stress and all the work that he's putting in. That is definitely not going to help him and his health. So he needs to have some assigned people working NXT. I know he's got Michaels. I know Michaels is a big, and it's huge as far as influence right now when it comes to um, when it comes to NXT. But I know that he's going to want to have something to do with NXT. So man, he needs to scale down. He needs to scale back, scale down for sure. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Update was that there was some change in plans, and we saw that with the end of the um, show with the sing along with Tyson Fury. Lexi is in the building. Lexi is in the building. Always, man. Look, shout out to Lexi, man. This is the type of promotion. See, she's this is a PR and advertising and marketing all in one fell swoop. So there you go. Thank you, Lexi. Epic. Glad you met Dakota Kai. I wouldn't say it was epic. The last match, I wouldn't say it was epic, but the last match was really good though, for sure. Hot dog. Would you consider a hot dog and a bun sandwich? See, I love these type of questions. That's a very debatable topic over the past few years. Would I consider a hot dog and a bun a sandwich? I would consider it a hot dog and a bun. I mean, that's really what I would. To me, when I think of sandwich, I mean, technically, I imagine ish, but the issue though is the pushback. The pushback to the people that says that it is a sandwich is when I think of sandwich, I think of two independent pieces of bread. Okay. A hot dog is not two independent pieces of bread. It is one piece of bread cut in a way to house a hot dog, but it is not two independent pieces of bread. Okay. It covers both sides of a piece of meat, which understandably so, people would defend that when it comes to yes, it is a sandwich. But my biggest pushback again would be that when I think of a sandwich, I think of two independent pieces of bread. Otherwise, you'll have like a hoagie or a sub or something to that nature. So I can see both ends. Okay, I can see both ends. If I had to make a choice, only because again, I see a hot dog as one piece of bread and not two independent pieces of bread covering a piece of meat. I would say no with that criteria. I don't know who the tribal god is. I know who the tribal chief is. Roman Reigns. As far as Roman Reigns holding the titles till at least Mania, if not longer, no. I mean, I am a huge advocate of Roman Reigns having the titles for 2 years. Um, I want to see Rock and Reigns, and it does not and should not be for the title. Absolutely does not need the title for Rock Reigns because the Rock's not going to beat Roman Reigns. And he shouldn't beat Roman Reigns for the title. And he should not be the one who dethrones Roman Reigns for the title. That would be absolutely horrible. And so there's zero point of having Rock Reigns for the title. Zero. None. 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 The Rock does not need to be in the title picture. You know he's not going to be there full time. You know he's all about movies. You know that he's not even going to have a part-time stint because he's basically had to block off scheduling in a movie just to jump in this slot if he is able to do it in Hollywood. And so there's 0% chance that that's anything believable as far as Rock becoming champion. Zero. There's nothing. So but I do want to see Rock Reigns because Roman Reigns beating The Rock would give Roman Reigns the rub that he doesn't necessarily need, but it would definitely push him past and make him like this, like officially this era's Hogan. Like he is the guy of the era. Like the era before him was John Cena, era before him was Austin and Rock, but Austin era before him was Hogan. It was Bruno, Backlund, Hogan, Austin, Cena, now Reigns. And he beating The Rock would just further solidify that. Doesn't need to be for the championship. In fact, the best way to start an angle with Roman Reigns is for Rock to cost him the title, ideally somewhere in the realm of the Royal Rumble. And I think, it's Royal Rumble's a stadium show. It's going to be at the Alamo Dome. I think that's a way to allow someone like a Drew or a Lashley, somebody who's believable, to actually win the titles from Reigns. And Rock is the one who interferes and costs Reigns the championship, and that's a perfect segue over to Mania. So that's the way to go. Let's not see Rock Reigns for the championship. Yes, join the patreon.com. I've got some exclusive information up there. I've got information as far as who told the Young Bucks. And I also have that on Pancakes and Powerslams. But I have some information as far as the backstage happenings with the Young Bucks. And I've got a lot more to post in the coming days, weeks. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm getting in from various sources. So please, patreon.com/pancakes and powerslams for the exclusive information. Also, hit the sub button here for exclusive information from a bite-sized perspective. But if you want some details, if you want the meat and the bones, I give you appetizers with the videos that I have as far as information that comes to me. But when it comes to meatier stuff, I've got some really good information for you on the Pancakes and Powerslams Patreon. And as a matter of fact, I've got a big thing coming up. I've got a potential big breaking news information coming up in the next week or so. So stay tuned. Hopefully it falls through. I mean, hopefully I receive the information that I'm hoping to get within the next week or two, and I will be getting some really good information. I think I might share that on my regular Pancakes and Powerslams channel, and so be sure to hit the sub button for that. But again, when it gets to the meatier stuff as far as exclusive information, There's going to be a lot of stuff coming in as far as exclusive information. Go to that Pancakes and Powerslams Patreon, and you will get it first, because there's been a lot of information I've known for weeks, and I'm seeing other people and other sites report them. And so go check that Pancakes and Powerslams Patreon. Solo won the North American Championship. Really? Huh. Interesting. So what does that even mean then? So does that mean Solo's coming? Okay, Solo's a heel. Carmelo Hayes is a heel. Solo wins the North American Championship, but he's on SmackDown now. Very weird. C-Rod is in the building. What's up, my man? Solo was on SmackDown without a belt, so he went back to NXT tonight and won the North American Championship. So now the Bloodline have all the gold, and it looks like they're going back to the black and gold, maybe white and gold. Yeah, I saw the logo. I'm a big fan of it. I like the logo. So Solo winning the North American Championship, that's weird to me, because he's on SmackDown. He's gonna carry the NXT North American Championship on SmackDown, or he's just in the bloodline for the presence, and he's the only guy who's going to be wrestling both in NXT and on SmackDown. But why would you do that? Because I think you should respect the split, because he's I don't know. Weird. We'll see how that goes. Against SummerSlam next year, do it. I'm all for it. I'm all for the UK getting SummerSlam for sure. How do I think? I don't know. I am a United States citizen. I have zero clue. I have zero clue of how King Charles would do, because I have not went to Britain not one single day when Queen Elizabeth was ruling, and I don't know if I'll ever make it to Britain during King Charles's reign. So I have zero clue. Zero clue. Blue like the Reigns entrance. Uh-oh. Too many Reigns references, Ricky. And I like Reigns. Where would you rank Dominic Mysterio in a wrestler, in my opinion? Okay, I'll go there. Out of 10, a wrestler out of 10, I'll go. Out of 10, Dominic Mysterio is he's got a lot of work to do, but he's not horrible, though. He's not horrible. I'll give him a 5. 5. He's not bad. Just in the middle. He's in the middle. He's got a lot of work to do. Not bad, but not good either. So, yeah, I think he's in the middle. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. No, not this month. Definitely not this month. Oh man, I've got a busy September. I was just asked by a close friend of mine to do a 5-minute interview today, and I said no, because I couldn't do it. I'm not available till at least mid-October, man. Busy. I'm a busy man. See, anybody who brings up a Ohio State reference positively, yeah, you've got to clap for me. Marvin Harrison Jr. was the Big Ten Player of the Week, Offensive Player of the Week, because he did a fantastic job against Arkansas State. Jackson Smith and Jigba is coming back to the Toledo game. I would personally say no for that. We don't need them until Wisconsin, although Wisconsin definitely didn't. I mean, we were expecting that to be a quality game. We're expecting for Notre Dame to be a quality game too. Look, if we win out, it really doesn't matter. But at least quality wins will give us more of a defense to not to stay in the four. If we win out, we'll be in the four. If we win out convincingly with every game, we'll be in the four. Especially if we beat Michigan. Michigan's number 4 now. We don't know what they'll be in 2.5 months. But at the same time, I think that we'll have the quality win. Penn State's, getting up there now as far as, making some noise. So I'm all for Penn State winning out. We have Penn State. So that would end up being a quality win. They were unranked the preseason. Now they're going up. Now they're getting up there. So Penn State's going to work out as far as being a quality win. And then, of course, Michigan's going to be a quality win in the Michigan State. So we'll still have enough ranked wins, if hopefully we win out to make some noise. And we'll be in the four. As long as we win out, we'll be in the four. So it's not a big deal. But at the same time, we don't need Justin Smith and Jigba for Toledo. I don't want to risk his injury for a Toledo game. We don't need that. So I would have kept. And Julian Fleming's he hasn't been playing either, or the receiver. I would keep Emeka Ibuka in. I would keep Xavier Johnson in, and I would have Marvin Harrison Jr. being the anchor of the wide receiver core for now. So Dez in the building. Do I think the Elite will join WWE after the contracts are up? It depends on whether Triple H wants that to happen. You know, Triple H, there's not a lot of difference between Triple H and Tony Khan. There's not a lot of difference, really. It's not. There's some. I mean, as far as a professional standpoint, yes, there's a difference there, but not a lot. And so Triple H is going to be looking for bringing in those names for that reaction too, which again, that just plays to the house. That is nothing to casual fan. That's the casual fans. That just plays to the house. So you don't want to get to the point where you're looking just like Tony Khan. And yeah. And you're right, Jimmy. He couldn't even do the Three Amigos right. So Gilbert is better than Dominic. Very interesting. Report of the Young Bucks sending feelers. Sub to the looks like you are sub to the Pancakes and Powerslams YouTube channel. So what do I think about it? I mean, they're trying. It makes sense as far. I mean, Tony Khan, man, he's Tony Khan is a very awkward guy, man, and I can. It seems like a nice guy, but it seems way too weird to do business with. And so, yeah, I doesn't surprise me that anybody's sending feelers to the WWE at this point. Jimmy, with Edge probably being written off for TV for a while, where do you see the Dominic storyline going? And do you see Edge will return with backup, maybe Gangrel and Beth? Gangrel. That would be an interesting blast from the past. Vince and I were talking about this on Legion of Raw, and I threw some things out there. I mean, my Legion of Raw show has become basically fantasy booking because Raw just absolutely sucks. And I'm super blessed and grateful. I'm a lifelong wrestling fan, and I'll be watching wrestling. I'm a lifer and a lifelong wrestling fan. I've been watching wrestling for 36, 37 years now almost. And so, I go back to the days of yesteryear because I know that there's so much richness in the history of professional wrestling to at least hang on to that. And so it's like, but nowadays I just see stuff that's just like, man, I just don't. Everything's to me has got to be fantasy booking, just about, especially for Raw, because there's just nothing at all except maybe a thing or two every now and then that gives that sparks my interest. Um, I literally get paid to watch Raw every week and talk about it, so that's fantastic. I'm super blessed for that. So for that, I'll make fun. I'm a businessman, so I'm always a big fan of enjoying what you're doing. So I thoroughly enjoy Legion of Raw. But Legion of Raw is fun. Legion of Raw is one of the biggest reasons why I watch Raw live. If Legion of Raw wasn't a thing, I would not watch Raw live. I would watch it archived. I'll probably watch it uh, a day or two late. I mean, because it just doesn't pique my interest, man. It just doesn't. It's terrible, man. And so I'm hoping that something can change. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic. But this Judgment Day storyline, I just don't care. I don't care about this Judgment Day storyline. There's nothing intriguing. They're trying to rack up some wins now. Riddle's feuding with Seth Rollins, but Riddle's losing now. I mean, it's the same 50-50 stuff. People don't feel big. The stars need to feel big, not like everybody else. Riddle lost the match. Finn Balor, okay, racked up a couple wins, but he loses matches a lot. No one feels big. So I threw out the idea of perhaps Dominic, eventually, I don't remember what I said. Perhaps Dominic turning, yeah, okay. I said something like Dominic basically getting out of his trance and just clocking Rhea Ripley with the chair. So that's what I got out. That's what I said, and perhaps something had come out of that. But yeah, I just doesn't matter. Lexi, with the not so quiet news of AEW removing the Elite from Full Gear, is it safe to assume that the third party investigation is not favoring to them and they may be termed? Yeah, I think it's very safe to say that. And uh, from what I heard, they were the aggressors, and so basically the investigation is not going to favor them because of the talk of basically people who observed it. They were the initial aggressors. Some people say, there's some people who say that CM Punk was the one who decked, somebody first, but I'm hearing that they were the initial aggressors and, they were the ones suspended and there wasn't anything discussed when it comes to CM Punk and Ace Steel. So I heard that they're lawyered up. And so, um, it's probably they won't even mention CM Punk and Ace Steel because they've got a strong legal team to say, don't you dare. So, we shall see where this goes, and it doesn't seem like it's favoring the elites, the elites at all. Thursday Night Football on Prime. I think it's ridiculous. It's all about this. It's all about the money. It's all about the money. That's the reason why they're having a 12 updated in a couple of years. It's supposed to be 26, but they want it as early as 24 now. 12 teams in the college football playoffs. That's absolutely ridiculous to me. But at the same time, politics and money. Money, 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 money. Money just people just make some ignorant decisions when it comes to money, and it's influenced a lot so much on a negative standpoint that people just don't care. Let's just give college kids the ability to get hurt a couple of more times. How about that? They play about 14 games. Let's bump that up a little bit. No, not a fan. When Reigns beats Rock, he's done it all and it's totally unbeatable. I wouldn't say unbeatable, but um he's definitely done fantastic. Um yeah, I heard that they cut the feed, but sure. I mean, like they would have known that segment was 10-15 minutes long. Come on now. And even Drew said, "Are we still on?" And he kept singing. So, did everybody just leave the production truck? They cut the feed eventually. So that means if that report is true that they cut the feed, essentially this is what happens. There's a bunch of people in the production truck. All of them left. Every single one of them left with the assumption that, I mean, without any clearance, everybody checked to see if it's off the air. And just so happened, and I have to be off they forgot to cut the feed at Clash of the Castle as opposed to every single weekly episodic television. At their pay-per-view, they forgot to cut the feed, so everybody in the production truck just left. They just left. I mean, you see, when you're in a production truck, you have a bunch of screens. You see that stuff is still on. So everybody assumed that every single feed was cut. So they left, and maybe one person came back and said, oh man, the feed is still going on. Let me cut it off real quick. It wasn't abrupt. It just so happened to be conveniently after the singing. So I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. It was something that was planned in that slot and it didn't go through. And so that's what happened. Because Tyson Fury comes in and shakes Roman Reigns' hand. What? And then he pulls Drew up and no, absolutely not. I'm not shocked that Drew lost. I don't think it was the right call, but I'm not shocked that he lost. Aaron, since your pick is for Lashley to beat Roman, should they bring back the Hurt Business to help him with the bloodline? No, the Hurt Business is damaged goods. I wouldn't be opposed to the Hurt Business coming back as far as Cedric and Shelton, but they split up just to come back, just split it to come back. There's nothing about the Hurt Business right now that's marketable whatsoever, especially since they don't have MVP. So MVP was really the core of the Hurt Business because he was the mouthpiece, and a baby face Hurt Business without MVP, no, just ain't gonna work. Jimmy, can I name a more or can I name a more or has there been a more epic Mania moment than ending of Mania 20 when Benoit won the title? Maybe Kofi Mania. For me, Kofi Mania, I was there, but that wasn't an ending though. Kofi Bryan wasn't the main event, and in hindsight, it should have been because people would have still been looking forward to Kofi Mania by the time that's triple threat was over. It was like 12:30 in the morning, 12:30 in the morning, and I wasn't even there for the pre-show. I got there as soon as I parked. I heard Braun's music, so he won the Andre Battle Royal. So I was the Braun's music was playing in the parking lot, like it was loud in the arena. So I heard Braun's music playing, and I had my phone up and I was watching, so I saw everything as I was driving from the Airbnb. I was in New York, an Airbnb, and I drove to Jersey. And so by the time I did all that traffic and all that stuff, I got there at about I got there right after the Andre Battle Royal. So I was there for about 6 hours and I didn't even get there on time. Like I was like an hour late. So it was just bad. It was bad, man. It was long. So that match, that triple threat match at the end, people were just like, man, just end it. Like they weren't into it very much. I mean, Becky winning, but the finish was weird, and it was all it was just off. And then Kofi would have been a good call. As far as an epic Mania moment, I think the most epic Mania moment is Hogan winning the title keeping the title at 3. And that's the one that sticks out. Winning the title, winning both of the titles at 6. As far as what else, other mania moments stick out. Um, Shauna retiring at 26, that sticks out because that was a fantastic match. As far as like the ending, as far as the ending, there's been a bunch of mania moments, but as far as ending the show, as far as epic moments ending the show, um, yeah, those are the ones that stick out to me the most. Um, yeah, that's about it to me. I mean, there's been some good ones, but those are the as far as epic, those are the ones that I see. Where do the books go to WWE that would be entertaining? Yeah, I mean, like as far as they just don't fit the mold. I mean, just the super kicks and the indie takers and the destroyers. I mean, it just doesn't really fit the mold. He's probably going to unify a title. Who's going to unify a title? Why hasn't Dominic changed his gear and got Judgment Day music? He did change his gear. He just got. I mean, he just changed the type. His colors. Dominic's body type isn't intimidating. So the covering helps his character because his character isn't body focused. And that's okay. I mean, there's certain characters that aren't body focused. Even if Dominic was like chiseled out of steel, his body type, even if it was chiseled, his face looking like a little. I mean, like his face, he has a baby face. Like he's trying to be a heel with the baby face. So whether he's cut or not, it just wouldn't make a difference. So it's all I'm okay with Dominic's gear. I think it's smart. I think it's very smart with having the cover and the long tights. That makes sense to me. But I mean he has the Judgment Day colors with it now, black and purple. So yeah. Um the monarchy overseas. Chris agrees. That's right. Welcome to the live. Someone said go blue. Oh man, that's horrible. Horrible. Seth Rollins Wrestling School, a coffee shop near where you know he's in Iowa. And that's um, 4 or 5 states away. I'm in Ohio, and my where I stay to Davenport, Iowa. That's probably about a 7 8 hour drive. Pretty long. Let's see. I'm in Ohio. Drive is about 7.5 hours from Ohio to Iowa. Iowa's 3 states away from me. 3 states west, 3 states northwest away from Ohio. So 7.5 hour drive. I'm cool with it. I think it's sad, for Scott Frost to play at Nebraska and come back. That was a big deal for him. Like he was all for it. He, had a undefeated career. He had an undefeated season at UCF. They even thought that they should have went to the playoffs, and so I mean, there was a UC like he put UCF on the map. When it comes to legit, being a legit FBS team, and for him to have that success at UCF and then come to Nebraska and just stink up the town, man. And especially like he knows how important it is to be as a Nebraska Cornhusker fan to win games. But in fairness though, like there was like a huge percentage of I remember seeing a bunch of them. Michigan was one of them. Ohio State was one of them, for the most part. Like there was a big chunk of his games that was just one possession. He just lost by one possession. There was just so many close calls. And he was up, and he was just. I remember watching the Michigan game. It seemed like they were going to win, but it was. I mean, it was like a curse. It was like a curse on him, man, because so many games that he won that he lost by less than one possession, man. It was crazy. And then he lost to Georgia Southern, and I'm just like, dude, he lost to Georgia Southern at home. He lost to Georgia Southern at home. Now, for those who don't watch college football, let me fill you in real quick before I get to the other questions. The first 2 to 3 games, typically in a Power 5 conference, which means Power 5 conferences, the 5 like powerhouse conferences, which is the Big 10, the Pac-10, the Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC. Those are the 5 biggest conferences, although the Big 12 is dispersing. So it's really a Power 4, really. But Big 12, they're dispersing. But those were the 5 biggest conferences. So the Power 5 teams, typically, especially big teams from the Power 5, but just Power 5 schools typically do this. And even like AAC, the All-American Conference, where Cincinnati's in, Memphis is in there. So, but Power 5 is typically, this is what they do. They have a ton of money. They have a huge amount of money within the Power 5 conferences through television deals, and that's typically, television revenue from having big games, and the ratings that comes with that. So they have a bunch of money to shell out to bring in a team for their first, few games. So it's usually, the terminology within college football heads are cupcake teams. We call them cupcake teams, which means it's just some, you know, uh, nobody or some, who are you, what you call it, what I mean, type of team that is usually sometimes even an FCS team, which is Division two. But a lot of times it's just a team, a D1 team or an FBS team that it's like 99 or 102, in the on the list. So they bring that team in, they pay them money for the team to come in with, with the expectation that they're going to just beat the brakes off of that team. However, and that team is the big Power 5 team. They're working on their reps. They're doing these things. They're putting their people in to give them confidence to throw better for a quarterback, to run better, more reads, better plays. Look and see where their defense is. They're doing all these things within these cupcake games, right? That's the reason why a lot of times they run the score up, because they are still running plays because they're prepping themselves for a conference team typically, sometimes not, like Florida and Miami. They're different conferences, but they're rivals. Same thing with Florida and Florida State. They're rivals, but they're not in the same conference. So either conference play or rival play, they're prepping for that by bringing in the cupcake game. So they pay them to come in, all right, with the expectation that they're not going to beat the college team, the big Power 5 college team. They're going to get beat very miserably. They're going to get abolished. So they're paying, like, for instance, Georgia Southern got paid by Nebraska to come to them. Arkansas State got paid by Ohio State to come to them to play. Appalachian State got paid by Texas A&M to come to them, and they beat them. Actually, they beat Texas A&M, which is the 6th ranked team in the nation at that time. So the expectation isn't, by the way, 2007 Appalachian State beat Michigan. but the expectation isn't for them to win. And sometimes they win. They win. And this is that's what happened with Georgia Southern, and that's what happened with App State. And so, yeah, it happens sometimes. I think, yeah, we have Iowa this year. First time we've played Iowa in like 4 or 5 years. And y'all beat the brakes off of us last time, like 55 to like 23 or something like that. Y'all were unranked. We were expecting that game to be just an easy game, and y'all beat the snot out of us, man. I was I was very upset about that. But we got y'all back. I've been waiting for this because I wanted redemption against Clemson, Purdue, and Iowa, because those are the 3 teams that beat us. Well, Michigan now, but those are the 3 teams that beat us that we don't have every year. So I've been waiting for this. We got a redemption with Purdue. We beat them pretty badly. And we got a redemption with Clemson because we beat Clemson in the playoffs. But we've been waiting for Iowa for like 5 years. So yeah, 2017 we lost 55 to 24. So, and it's crazy that as far as Iowa, they've lost to Ohio State since 1983, so almost 30 years. They've only beat Ohio State 5 times in 30 years. Actually, back to 1962. So 60 years, they've beat Ohio State 6 times. Since 1962, they've beat them 6 times. And 2017 was one of them. So, because they don't play Ohio State every year either. I mean, 2017, it's been 5 years since we've played Iowa. And then 13, so that was a 4-year gap. 10, we played them back to back, and 10 and 9. So that was a 1-year gap. Before then was a 3-year gap. In 2003 to 2006, we played them back to back. So we played them 4 straight times. But yeah, it's not. Sometimes we play them in like straight times, but there's times there's gaps, and we haven't played them in 5 years. So I've been waiting 5 years for this, and I'm excited about it. All right, AEW usually Young Bucks. Will AEW be in trouble? No, I don't think so. I wouldn't say a lot better. I would say partially better. I don't care about the 24. I'm happy that 24/7 championship is no longer a thing, seemingly. That's one of the best things that Triple H has made. And I like Dexter Lumis. I like Dexter Lumis. So I'm not a fan of what we see, but I'm glad that he has an opportunity. Thought on the Observer, old Meltzy boy, making sure to point out that CM Punk was removed from Full Gear, even though it has been widely reported that his injury has sidelined him. Well, Dave Meltzer, he's got some big ties to AEW. He's one of the kind of founding minds when it comes to AEW, because he was one of the people who originated the whole concept behind All In. It was a Cody and Roman Reigns thing, and then Dave Meltzer, was talking about they couldn't sell at 10,000 seats, and Cody and Reigns were going against each other about main eventing, and then Cody, Reigns, Meltzer, those are the 3 minds really as far as the pioneers and what started the whole all in revolution there. So he has a lot of ties within AEW. So he's not going to speak ill of them. And he's going to be sure to cover them. So that's my take on that. Kansas, yeah, Kansas. Y'all got who's y'all coach down? Y'all had Mac Brown, didn't you? Or was it Les Miles? Who's y'all's coach now? Because I know Mac Brown's over in North Carolina, right? Um, is it Les Miles that's Kansas coach, or did he get let go? Let's see, who's Kansas coach? Lance Leopold. Okay, nice. Um. Oh, so he took over last year. Very nice. Okay, good for them. But they're 2-0, 2-0, and he took over. He took over Les Miles. Les Miles was only there for a year. Yeah, and I heard about the so he was let go because of like there were some allegations with female students though, right? They probably would have kept him more time, but he got himself in some trouble. All right, let's skim through these. Let's see. Bearing the whole company while Tony Khan looked like, yeah, I agree. That was just so weird. So weird. There's just no way in the world I would just allow that to happen if I was running the company. No way. Super weird. Do I watch soccer? I do not watch professional soccer. No, I don't. Although the Columbus Crew won a cup here within the past few years. I heard that um, I know someone who's a big soccer fan, and he would give me updates. So, but yeah, I followed the Crew ish when they won the cup um, a few years ago. So yeah, that's as far as I get to soccer. It was a strange way, yes indeed. With the glitch during uh M Omos, I think he meant Omos' segment on Raw. Do you believe it was truly an error or so hint or another major debut? Yeah, the technical difficulties, right? Technical difficulties. Hmm. Hmm. Technical difficulties. Now, if we see that again, mm, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If we see that again, it wasn't any technical difficulties. And I think when people see that, they should run. Do they do a fantasy football team this year? No, I gotta get into fantasy football again. I don't get into I did fantasy football once and mm, yeah, I didn't get into it. I'm open to it though, but no. Have I seen the stats for class? Biggest gate for non WrestleMania, the most merch sold on your pay per view, and number one channel world on Twitter. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, the UK's been waiting for a big pay per view for years. So, uh, yeah, I hope those rumors aren't true. I just don't care about that. Braun returning. I mean, making his money, man. Make that money. Make that money. Update on Nikki A.S.H. All right, let me do that. Let me get into here before we head out. The update on Nikki A.S.H. per a very reputable source, if you will. Here's the update on Nikki A.S.H. Information I received. Here we go. All right, so as of now, um, so They're supposed to. So Nikki A.S.H is supposed to have a storyline with New Drop. New Drop, and it's supposed to mimic the breakup of the AEW people, the AEW debacle. They're supposed to separate and mimic the fight. This is what I have so far right now as far as this. So Dewdrop is supposed to be repackaged to a dominant female character. And then Nikki A.S.H is going to do a slow burn to becoming Nikki Cross again. And we saw that because she took her mask off recently. And so basically that's what we have for now. That's what I was told for now. So the taking her mask off was indeed a slow burn back into the Nikki Cross character. So we shall see what happens with that. Jeff was at 30 watching Taker lose. Actually pissed me off, my friend, so bad he had to go and cool off. I was there. I was there too. No, I wasn't. I wasn't there. I was there at the other time he lost against Reigns, which was 33. I was not happy about that. I was okay with Reigns beating him. I was actually heckling a lot of people who I was the heel. I was one of the biggest heels in the crowd because I was cheering for Roman Reigns at that time. Although Taker's one of my all time favorites. I think at that time I wanted Reigns to beat Taker because Taker already lost. If Taker didn't lose, I wouldn't. I don't. I'm one of the guys. I don't ever. Taker to me should have never lost, and I stand by that. He should have. The streak should have never ended. But since it ended, I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, have Roman Reigns beat him. Very nice, very nice. I believe the curtain call treatment of Austin Theory was on him losing Money Bank briefcase to Owens. I do. Not sure Owens, because I don't want Owens. I definitely don't want Owens to be the guy to cash it in on Roman Reigns. That'd just be horrible. But I can definitely see Austin Theory losing the case for sure. You live in Jefferson. How far is he away from you, Chris? Aaron thinks Nebraska's defensive coach is trash. Chris plays Nevada. Iowa plays Nevada next week, and then he scored 40 points and lost to an FCS school last week. Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. Yeah, Iowa lost, and then and they barely won the first game. They had 2 safeties and a field goal. So it's been a lot of crazy goings on in the world of college football. It's been wacky. It's been very wacky. I did not watch any of that. No. I am actually almost caught up with all of them. I've watched probably about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes of Edges. I watched, no, actually, probably more than that, probably about half an hour because I watched it during cardio today. I did 50 minutes of cardio today at the gym. And I watched it. I watched a lot, about 30 minutes of the Edge doc while I was doing cardio. So I watched a good chunk of it. It's been good so far. I actually liked it. So I still have the rest of that. Then I have Mysterio. Then I have WrestleMania 1. And I'll be all caught up. Y'all do stink. But your defense really, yeah, I mean, for sure. Man, look. I'll get that to you at another time. I would have to just carry the 1 and do all the 2. No, man, I'm not doing that right now. It's 12:50 a.m. in my world, and I've been doing therapy all day and podcasting. So I'll get to you. Matter of fact, I work smarter, not harder. So I'm going to give you the answer. Ready? I work smarter, not harder. So the answer to your question is coming up. All right. Watch this. Watch this. The answer, because you didn't tell me I couldn't use my calculator. So I'm going to give you the answer. And the answer, that's 397,440. I typed it exactly how it says right there. So 32 times 135 So parentheses, so it means times 90 plus 2, which would be 92. So there you go. PEMDAS, right? Parentheses comes first, so it'll be 92 times that thing, the 32 times 135. So there you go. Brett Favre is in trouble now. Going to watch GCW on Saturday. They're doing a couple shows here. Okay, cool. Have fun. Join Bella and the gang. I haven't received that information. I mean, I didn't receive that she's going to join Judgment Day, which that would be odd. No, thank you. That would just be overkill. What current call with Theory? Theory's been involved in a couple of things that were a bit edgy outside of WWE. I'm the last one of the season. Nice. Not yet. But give me a good Rivals and I'll check it out. I'm all for watching these shows because I do a lot of cardio, and so I'm just literally just looking at my phone during my cardio time, and that's usually when I catch up on like wrestling docs. Yeah, they were up. They were up, and then lost by 1. That was ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Not a fan of that. I think Malik Willis should take the reins, man. I really do. I think Ryan Tannehill he came in, he stepped in for Marcus Mariota, and he played a lot better than him. And then we're trying to keep holding on to him. He's not bad. He's not bad. But at the same time, he's just not. I don't want him at the helm. I'm all for Malik Willis because he's a good quarterback, and he is a Liberty alum. So, and I am a Liberty alum too. So I'm all for that. It's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. Thank you, Lexi. Over 4,000 views. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube. I've got more where that came from. I'll check this one out. I think I saw maybe 1 or 2 before. Thank you, Chris. Albert Pool host. Good for him. I think it's good thing it's been around for a long time. It's been around for a long time. Although he's only in his early 40s, I think. Good night, Ricky. Good night, Keith. Good evening and good morning and good night, and then the rest of the PNP Nation. PNP, I'll see you later. I'll see you